Jump back in time a bit and review something that I actually missed last year because it was so limited.
Well, what do men want?
Just a pretty woman to love and to take care of them.
Love me. Love me.
The Love Witch is an interesting film directed by Anna Biller and starring Samantha Robinson as Elaine, who is a young witch who moves to a new town and is really obsessed with the concept of love and really wants to be loved and uses magic to attain said love. And that's really the movie. This is one of those things I was hearing a lot about in the festival circuit. I really was interested in it because it was on a lot of people's best of 2016 lists. It was on some people's worst of 2016 lists, and I can kind of see why in both respects. This is a really interesting homage film in that it is completely 1000% designed to look like it was pulled out of the late 60s, early 70s. It is, shot, to my knowledge, shot on 35mm film in Technicolor. And it really shows, it is expertly crafted in that sense. Anna Biller not only produced and wrote and directed it, but she also designed the sets and maybe the costumes, I'm not sure, but she went all out in terms of making this feel completely wholly like a film from the early 70s, and it really it works in that respect. If you are a fan of that very niche style, of that feel from that era, with the weird wonky edits and cuts and story that's a bit lacking and hokey acting and hokey writing, this movie is definitely for you, because it does all those things, and it has a certain self-awareness to it that really works in that respect. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of dive right into it. First off, Samantha Robinson acting as Elaine, she's captivating. She's very playful and seductive and fun every time she's on screen, and regardless of the fact that, her acting is intentionally stilted and intentionally kind of hokey and silly, and the same is said for the cinematography and the writing. It's all very, hokey and goofy and weird, and it really lends to the authenticity of feeling like it could have absolutely just been plucked right out of the 70s and released today. I thought that's really cool. I love just the aesthetic of this movie overall. Like I said, it's shot in Technicolor. It's beautiful to look at. Every single second of it is so meticulously crafted to look... It's like visual sex. It's just non-stop. There's so many bright pinks and yellows and reds and blues, and just everything is so pretty to look at. And like I said, it's got a very nice self-awareness to it in that it's edited and shot and acted and written to wholly resemble a film from that time. So, the acting is really over the top and goofy and kind of hollow. The same with the writing. The writing is kind of just silly. The editing, you have a lot of these really, in the camera shots, you have a lot of these really just awkward zooms, and it's funny. It adds to it's very tongue-in-cheek, and it's very self-aware in the way it does these things, and I love that. Its biggest problem, and this is really a pretty big problem, at least for me, it's very long. This is a 2-hour film, and for the first hour or so, it's fine, but when you get to that hour and 20-minute mark, there's still 40 minutes left in the movie, and it really starts chugging along. It gets a bit, tedious to get through for those last 40 minutes. There were points when, it started kind of... You get numb to the visuals of it all, and so you're just you start getting really bored. I started looking at my phone a couple times. Way longer than it has any business being. It could have been about 30 to 40 minutes shorter, and I think it would have been a much stronger film. But that being said, I really like the themes explored in this movie, though. The way it explores, certain gender roles and the male fear of emotional intimacy, and how that equates with love, and how certain people are afraid of being in love, and how it really dives into the predominant male expectations for women that are completely ludicrous and absurd, and it really dives into that in a way that's clever and unique and funny. But yeah, there's a lot to be said in this movie, mostly in regards to, feminism and lust and love and the idea of people's fears of exploring their actual feelings. I thought that was really cool, and I like the way it explores these themes. Like I said, I think it could have probably been done in a much shorter fashion. But that all being said, I still think that The Love Witch is a film that not everyone's going to enjoy. In fact, if you're not a fan of that specific niche genre that it's made for, you're going to hate it. But it's certainly good for fans of late 60s, early 70s genre films. Late 60s, early 70s femme fatale, crazy fucking acid trips. I'm going to say check it out if you're into that stuff. It's currently available on DVD and Blu-ray and digital, and I think it's in theaters over in the UK. I don't know. Check it out if you're interested based on what I've been saying and the visuals in this video. Yeah. It's a decent time. I would recommend it. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but I don't regret watching it in the slightest. And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you can click down there and like, comment, subscribe, and we will be getting a couple more reviews coming up in the next week or so. Thank you so much, guys.
I would do anything for love.